let's show the graphic here for everyone. We're having this is known as Cosmos UFO Chronicles. These are the videos that we will be showing to you. And I'd like, for those of you who are recording this, we have the high-speed wobble, the peekaboo, 13-plus arrival, another set of multiple craft. I call this the Invasion 22-plus with various designs. OVNI, is this a balloon? I doubt it. You will notice that. Balloons don't travel that fast. Then going to number 6 with the plasma beam ship. This is a daytime photograph, and you will notice that the plasma beam ship followed with number 7, the plasma beam ship at night. This is the very first time, I believe, that you will see a picture of a craft of similar type in the daytime with its normal, if you want to call it normal configuration or solid body, compared to a very fluorescent red color, oscillating various hues of color and shading at nighttime. This is on video. Then number 9, one of my favorites, the Sam's Town. Number 8, Sam's Town. Number 9 will be the Splits. That is one that we've shown on past shows of the Cosmic Connection, but since my head was in the way, we thought we'd give you a much more detailed look at the Split. And then finally, number 10, Dennis, a little comment on the hyper jump.
The taffy snap.
The taffy snap.
That's correct. Well, all of these videos actually come from Mexico, with the exception of Sam's Town.
Correct.
Which comes from Nevada.
Which means that our bags should be packed and we should be heading for Mexico one of these days. All right, with that out of the way, we are going to show this video, and Dennis and I and Ron will be commenting. And if you'd like to call it 667-7434, we'll take your call. All right, let's run the videotape. And the first one will be the high-speed. With this, the high-speed wobble. It looks like that was October 22nd. And ladies and gentlemen, this is down in Mexico with various
Mexico
people.
City, to be specific.
Pardon me?
Mexico City.
Mexico City, exactly.
Are the majority of them.
These are the several thousand people that have been witnessing these daytime sightings, ladies and gentlemen. Why we don't hear about it in the news in the United States? Well, this is something that the media just doesn't seem to think that is very important. This is a very interesting movements. The movements here through these tree branches.
Somewhat similar to Sam's Town in some ways.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. With the lighting.
And the way it jumps back and forth through the branches.
Right, where it would disappear at times. The lights fade out, and then it just pops open at another area.
There we go.
Okay. I believe this is the wobble. All right, this is the first in our series of the Cosmos Chronicles here. These are the UFO Chronicles. Now this wobbling effect, this craft is moving at a high rate of speed, oscillating left and right. This is not a weather balloon. This is going way too fast for a weather balloon. And let's see what we have here now.
If you look at that and some of the photos we brought in with some of the sightings that we've had around here in the Portland area, similar.
The way the light is, or the size of the craft?
The size and the way the light hits that. Some of the photographs that were taken here in the Portland area are pretty similar to these objects.
Okay. All right. Now this is one of my favorite ones. This is known as a peekaboo. Okay, this is known as peekaboo. Watch as the craft comes into the clouds from the left to the right.
We'll get a close-up of that.
We will get a close-up of this. And I'd like to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, these are not flocks of geese.
Well, even flocks of geese can't stop in mid-flight and then go back the other direction.
Temperature inversions, weather balloons. The weather balloon, It gets a lot of press, the weather balloon. Or Venus.
Yep, that was Venus.
Here's, yeah.
There it is again.
Here's the peekaboo. And a repeat of the peekaboo. Now let's remind everyone how we got this videotape and who we got this videotape from, Dennis.
Well, I think more importantly, anybody that is skeptical about UFOs, that doesn't believe there's any proof, should definitely book some tickets down to Mexico City and spend a week, and I'm sure they'll come back with several sightings. From what I understand from my contacts down there, they continue to have sightings to this day. Day and night, everywhere. People just invite other people over for barbecues and watch the flying saucers whip around through the backyard.
Sure. All right, now, this is the 13-plus arrival. This is a video section number 2, I believe. Or are we still at
Not
peekaboo?
yet. We're still on peekaboo.
We're still at peekaboo, all right.
Yeah, this is the close-up of the peekaboo.
All right. All right, now it's in the clouds, and he comes back.
For one final curtain call.
For one final curtain call. Here we go. In, back. All right, now back into the clouds, and it does come back a little bit there at the bottom. Looks around, and then he splits. All right. And the fourth one we're going to be going to is another set of multiple craft, but it is the first set of multiple craft. And this will be, if you're looking into the skies, if you're looking into the skies with binoculars or high-powered telescope, there will be a point here where they will show you that you will not be able to see this happening going on. And if you're not looking into the sky, you would have missed this sighting.
Well, actually, yeah, what he's saying is basically with the naked eye, you probably wouldn't notice this, but with some technology that will allow you to zoom in, suddenly the sky is filled with craft.
Sure. Also, it's not everybody is constantly looking into the skies.
Well, yeah, and down in Mexico, I understand it's so calm they don't even bother to scan the skies. They expect to see them when they look up there now.
Yeah, it's commonplace now. It's commonplace. Now, this is the 13-plus. All right, now what we have various dots, illuminated dots, craft hovering in the sky in formation. This is precise formation. And the gentleman that took this video, I believe, I told Mr. Masson, Jaime Masson of the 60 Mementos program in Mexico City, that these craft were in a formation, and they were moving in the formation of itself. If you ask me, it's like crop circles in the skies. Some kind of pictogram. Who knows what's going on, and what it all means. And this is these are various designs, and I counted 13 plus craft. And these videotapes were taken within the past 4 to 5 years, beginning around 1990, 1991, with the advent of the eclipse. Okay, and then the next set of multiple craft.
This is the 22 plus.
This is the invasion. I call this the invasion, the 22 plus. This looks very similar to the last video that we've seen, except for it's much more apparent that there is something going on here, and there are a lot of them going on. This will give you the creeps, ladies and gentlemen. If you think just for a minute that any of this could be real, you look at this. This is pretty.
This is the arrival.
This is the arrival. Yeah. I mean, look at this. This is unbelievable. Ron, what do you think of this, pal?
I'm sure there's going to be a lot of skeptics, you know, with
Well, they're geese.
with anything. Geese, they could be balloons.
Chupacabras in formation.
Chupacabras in formation. But it's in the video. It's proof that there's an anomaly up there. These are solid objects.
Even if we had radar verification, they'd say, okay, weather balloons.
Exactly.
Well, in fact, I'm glad you brought
weather
that
balloons
up.
always the good standby.
Jaime got some of this information from the air traffic controllers in the area, stating that some of these on video did come up on the radar screens.
Well, also they've ran some of this film to show. They've actually taken some film to see if any of these craft are putting out electromagnetic radiation, which they are. And then they've also filmed some weather balloons to see if they put out electromagnetic radiation, which they don't. So that's a pretty good litmus test right there.
And they actually did that.
Yeah.
I think another thing that they'll bring up also, if these craft are so highly advanced, why do they show up on radar? We're going to have people
Well, why not?
question, yes, why not?
Nature's laws of nature apply throughout the universe. If you're going to show up on radar here, you're going to show up anywhere.
And what Ron was saying coincides with a letter that we received from a Dave out there in Portland, Oregon. Wrote us a very detailed article dealing with some Area 51 goings on. And I think we're going to have to go into this letter a little bit more detailed with you, Dave, and get in touch with you and release this to the viewers of the Cosmic Connection.
Very interesting letter.
It's a great letter, and I don't want to just touch on it and not do it the justice that this letter is deserved for our program. But this letter that we've got received from you, Dave, that's an entire show there. All right, where are we at now? We're still at the 22 plus, the invasion, right, Dennis?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we should be going to the next segment now.
Okay, here we are. Now, this is to show you the speed of aircraft, ladies and gentlemen, at how fast they were going. And now here is a weather balloon, yes, doing its maneuvers. And here we are. What is this, a slow motion? I believe that's slowed down.
Yeah.
And the commentator on this video, all right, here we go. There's the speed. All right. Gives you some idea. And now
It appears to be going at least twice as fast. Twice as fast plus. Jet-propelled weather balloon.
Now, to look at it from a devil's advocate point of view, this craft, could it be closer than the jets on this videotape, showing it giving it more speed? I'm just trying to think of some of the arguments that would go against. Could this be one of those?
It could be a flock of geese that ate beans and had extra propulsion.
Well, what I'm saying is, chrome-plated balloons that you see out at air shows or an amusement park of some sort.
Well, the aircraft they're showing were the F-5s, and their show speed, I would figure you're looking at between 250
now here's the first
to
craft
400.
that you mentioned that
Those
has
were
the
F5s?
dimples. That
Those
has
were
the
F5s.
dimples in the side.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is the daytime photo of the plasma beam ship. This is outstanding. Notice the divots around the rim of the craft. This was taken by someone who wishes to remain anonymous. He did not wish to give out his name. This is daylight. Notice the divots on the rim of the saucer. This is going to help identify this craft when it shows up at night.
Something similar to the Naha, Oregon sighting.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, now here we are with the plasma beam ship. This is all in Mexico City, ladies and gentlemen, or the outskirts or towns surrounding, and by meaning close to Mexico, within a radius of 89 miles.
And this is the nighttime shot you were referring to.
This is the nighttime. This is the Carlos Diaz.
With the similar divots in the side.
With the similar divots in the side, with the shadings. We have, I believe, yellow with red shadings, and you'll see it later. It will be a solid red.
Well, no, it's just the amount of red
Looks like a big jellyfish. It's
the amount of
beautiful.
red becomes greater at certain points and lesser at certain points.
Yes.
And an interesting thing to
Beautiful.
notice is that when this fellow gets the live video underneath the craft and it suddenly gets brighter, all the roosters in the barnyard suddenly start doing their morning cock-a-doodle-doo. And if you've ever lived on the farm, you know it's pretty tough to fool roosters as to when it's sunrise. The barnyard lamps generally don't cause them to start that.
No, that's something I wouldn't know, but I appreciate that information. Yes. All right, here is a side underbelly shot. All right, now we're going back to the daytime from the picture of Mr. Anonymous there, and you will notice the similarity between the two craft. And notice that I'm seeing now that this craft isn't exactly identical to the one that we're seeing at night, but I'm wondering if there could be a shift change, a phasing, since we don't know about all these craft. But I think it's very unusual to see the same divots within the daytime photo and the nighttime photo. I think that it's just too close. Never seen this before. I've never seen a picture of a Billy Meyer.
This is actually live video now.
Yes, it is.
Not just a
still photo. This is not a still photo. This is motion picture.
And there's some
video
audio coming up that we'd like to have up if we could.
No, we don't.
Can't do it. Okay.
No, I've done this too many times on this. The audio is pretty poor. All right, it's oscillating left and right, and turning at the same time. I can see it turning left and right, and also pivoting, rocking back and forth. Beautiful.
Now this is over the backyard of a gentleman that Jaime referred to as being so poor he didn't have money for tomorrow.
That's correct.
And I had to loan him the video camera and the camera to get the photos of these things. The man didn't even own video equipment. Okay, this is actually live video too, and you can see below the craft, the little white light moving around is actually the farmer with his flashlight moving around below the craft.
And I believe I run this at least 2 or 3 times, and you will see it's going to disappear now, and he will still be standing there at the bottom. There it is. And
he's still standing there with his flashlight.
He's still standing there, and when it reappears, what we are doing is we have started at the beginning of the video where he's standing there, and it's where it's an arrival. So we're showing the same footage 3 different times, ladies and gentlemen, in succession.
If you look real close, you can see the flashlight just barely when he moves the flashlight down to the bottom.
He actually shines it on his leg. So this is the underside of the craft. He's now looking up at it from underneath the craft and still filming live video, and it gets brighter.
Wow.
And that causes...
That's not the iris change in the camera, is it?
Well, that caused all the roosters in the barnyard to start cock-a-doodle-dooing, which is interesting. So
what I'm saying is that craft just did that.
Well,
it brightened.
Right.
It wasn't the iris in the camera.
Unless that was just a homemade lamp in his back barnyard.
Yeah. I think we're getting a little facetious definitely on my part.
But also, this shows the divots in the edge of the craft.
Yes.
Even the underside view.
Beautiful colors. Beautiful colors. It's like a jellyfish. I've scuba dived with jellyfish off the Catalina Island, Coronado Islands. And once again, the divots in the rim of the craft. And this is the Carlos Diaz. And this gentleman has been, as Jaime would put it, in the same ranks as Billy Meyer and Mr. Adamski, George Adamski.
Well, let's hope not.
Well, I understand. I understand why you say let's hope not. But what meaning? And I'm glad you bring that up.
Meaning famous contactees, but I would consider George Adamski to be an infamous contactee.
Yes, and Mr. Van Tassel. Yeah, they do have their reputations. We're also, but
Okay, this is Sam's Town.
okay,
now.
yeah, here we are with Sam's Town. This is 1990, April, spring of 1990. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you will recall you've seen this maybe on Sightings, maybe on other programs, and they only show you maybe 2 or 3 seconds of this 9-minute video. I have the master video that came. This is a second generation from the master of a 8mm from the gentleman who took this video. I was fortunate enough to know a friend who knew the gentleman that actually took this video. This has been transferred from an 8mm to the videotape that I own today, and no one has ever said what these craft are. Now this right here, the bright light at the bottom of your picture, is an airplane coming into the landing pattern at McCarran Airport. This is over the Henderson area. Henderson is
Some people have
southeast of Las Vegas. Go ahead.
Some people have suggested that these may be kites, and as far as I'm concerned, the jury is still out. After watching it, many, many times, I still can't decide one way or another. It could or could not be.
Absolutely. The jury is still out on this. This is in the gray basket. I was going to bring that up. Thank you. It's been said it could be kites. It could be remote control airplanes. It could be hang gliders, ultralights.
Well, if those are kites and that's an aircraft coming in, if anybody's familiar with your vortexes on your aircraft, especially your airliners or fighter aircraft, to get caught in a wind shear or a vortex, it's controversial, to know what it is, but a kite, I couldn't see that.
Sure. All right. The Split, ladies and gentlemen, one of my favorite, number 9.
Similar to the Gulf Breeze sightings, nighttime sightings.
Right.
Where they're dropping a smaller orb or a remote out of the bottom.
Right.
Yeah, I've seen that. Now, what I find fascinating about this is that once the object has split, both sides remain equal. Huh? Mm-hmm. What's going on there? What's going on
Actually,
there?
somewhat reminiscent of the split in my Area 51 video.
Is that right? Oh. Yeah, I believe, but it's sideways.
Sideways.
It's sideways, yes. Can't recall, but I think in one of my many sightings, I've had 5 or 6 sightings out at Area 51. I do recall 2 staying together, whichever way they zigged and zagged. I believe the gentleman Ron on one of those videotapes, he was saying how they zipped and zapped together in formation.
Right, on a month ago's show,
yes.
He was explaining that, how they moved in unison.
Yes.
Somehow seemed to synchronize their navigation systems to perform unbelievable maneuvers. Him and a gentleman named Phil, was it?
Yes, Phil Schneider. Oh, Phil Schneider was featured on one of these films, but I believe the gentleman's name was Ron.
That's true. We did receive a large number of calls asking who the heck Phil Schneider was.
Yes, we did. Okay, winding up with the Split.
One more zoom shot of the Split.
Taking place in Mexico City.